Hello and welcome. Thanks for being here. My name is Brianna. I go by my skate name on this channel, Simon Slays. I create helpful tutorials and resources for roller skaters who just want to progress in their skate journey. I know a lot of you are probably looking into what grind blocks or sliders are good to buy. I am so excited to share with you today a review of the grind blocks that I have been skating on for over 2 years. I want to review these in depth for you, tell you how much they are, where I got them, why I chose these specific grind blocks, where you can purchase a set if at the end of this you decide that these are for you, what I did like about them and what I don't like about them, kind of like the pros and cons list, what I think they work really well for, and where I think you should get a different pair of sliders or grind blocks. Basically, I'm gonna let you know if these are for you or not, and you can obviously make that conclusion after you've watched this entire video and you have all the information based on my experience skating on these. Essentially, we're gonna go over everything and get into it. So keep watching if you want to hear all about these grind blocks. All right, so starting off, why did I pick these grind blocks in the first place? What made me purchase these and put them on my skates and start skating on these specifically? Essentially, I chose Sure Grip grind block because they were recommended to me when I went into a local skate shop and I was ordering my first roller skate setup for the park. But the reason I got these grind blocks was the skate shop owner who was putting together my park setup said, well, they're less expensive, and he basically just recommended them and said that they were really good. How much did my blocks cost? These specific blocks from Sure Grip, purchased at the skate store 2 years ago, were around $35 to $40, I believe. I don't have my receipt still, but I know it was in that range, which is incredibly affordable. So that's definitely one of the things that I would say is a pro. So obviously one of the selling points for me was straight up, before I even ever tried these, how affordable they are. I mean, seriously, $40 for a pair of grind blocks to put on your skate, that's pretty awesome. If you don't have a lot of funds to invest in your skate setup, you're just looking for a pair of blocks that will be good to drop in, install with, these are what I recommend for sure. So they built my setup for me. I waited about 8 weeks, I would say, and they built the whole thing for me. So I got to choose the plates. I've stuck with the same plates with every setup that I've ever had, including the setup that they built for me and the setup I built for myself, which is this one you're seeing now. It was super easy to install these on this setup when I moved to the Vans roller skate and built my own skates. So I'm gonna show you my first pair of skates. I started off on these Moxie Lollies. I'm not gonna go over my whole setup here. If you're interested in what either one of my setups have, like what I put together to make them, I linked everything down below and I wrote out exactly what I have. So if you're curious and you want to check that out, or you want to know what plates I have or what wheels I roll on or what toe stops I buy, those are all included because I don't want you guys to have to try and hunt those down or go back and forth. I've already looked it up, I've already hunted it down. It's all down there in the description box for you to check out. So I'm gonna put a picture of what my original setup looked like when I bought it from the skate shop. Coming as a new skater to park skating, transitioning from roller derby to parks, and wanting a setup that was built specifically for the park, it was a really good idea for me personally to go into a skate shop and ask for their recommendations. So if any of you are looking to get a new setup or looking for recommendations for your skate setup, you're always welcome to ask me about these things, but also see if there is a local skate shop that you can support and get their recommendation on what you should buy for your skate setup. They're super helpful. They know their stuff. They get these questions all the time, and I'm sure they are more than happy to help you out and get you rolling. The second thing that I love about these grind blocks is that they are so long lasting. They're so durable. I mean, I've had these for over 2 years and look at them. I skated 400 days in a row, plus another year, almost 2 years of park skating, being on the coping. I have a mini ramp on my front porch. I've used the heck out of these and look at them. It's not because I don't skate them, they just have really held up that well. And if you're scared of sliding and you don't want to slide and you kind of want to just start off like super secure and not, gonna slide when you land in a stall or something, this is gonna be my #1 recommendation. These babies are not going anywhere unless you want them to. When I was stalling wearing these on my skates, I always felt so secure. I didn't slide unless I was really actually trying to. And a lot of times it just takes some wax actually being applied to the coping for me to slide in these at all. So the fourth thing that I love about these blocks is that they are so easy to install. When I switched these blocks over from my Moxie setup to my new Park Vans roller skate setup, it was literally so easy. How you install these, you have to know if they're compatible with your skates. So essentially what you would do is look up the product, look up the compatibility, see if your plate specifically is compatible with this product, and then purchase it. Don't just purchase it and then try to put it on because your plate may not be compatible, especially if it's like a nylon plate. This is not going to work on that. It has to be something like this, because to install it, there's 2 screws. I don't know if you can see here, and there's like a little plate that goes between your plate and the boot, and the screws just attach the block to the plate, and it does not move. It's very secure. It's a pretty nice size, like width-wise, and it fits on all copings. And I really like, for me, one of the things is my feet are really big. So these, because my feet are so big, the size of the slider, and this is true for like CIP sliders for me, they just keep getting wider, so they don't lock on as like tightly on the coping. But this set, even though they're for like, I think I'm like a 9.5, 10, and like in a unisex size, I'm like an 8, like in a men's size, I'm like an 8. Let me see. Let's just look. I have pretty big feet, obviously. When you get to sliders, they get bigger and bigger. You'll notice this in pictures. They just get bigger and bigger and wider, which makes it actually kind of a disadvantage, because the wider they are, it's kind of like they don't lock on the coping as much. So you kind of have to have a better skill at balancing, which can be a challenge if you just want your blocks to lock on. So that's why I call these grind blocks. I wouldn't necessarily call these sliders. In comparison to other sliders, this material is definitely just like plastic. Other materials are made out of different material, and it's self-lubricating. And the first time I heard that, I was like, what does that mean? Self-lubricating just means that you don't need any wax to slide when you put those on the coping. Like when it comes in contact with the metal on the coping, it just keeps going and you're able to slide. Whereas when this one does, it won't slide because the material is not slick, it's not self-lubricated. You have to lubricate the surface. Basically, you have to wax it. You have to apply something for this to slide on it. I do not have any complaints about the grind blocks from Sure Grip. I really only have a recommendation that they are more to be used for stalling and dropping in securely as a beginner park skater. They're not really for sliding and being able to hit a coping and just do a slide. They're not really for that, or like a rail and doing a slide. It's actually very difficult. From my experience, I have done slides, I'm capable of them. They're a trick that I can do. But with these grind blocks, you cannot slide unless the coping is waxed. And waxing at a public skate park, it's a skate park etiquette to ask and to let everyone else around you know, to kind of ask if that's okay with other skaters skating that part of the park, and then also let them know if you have waxed it that you have, because no one wants to hit the coping and it's waxed and they didn't know and they're sliding out like crazy thinking that it's gonna be, you know, just like the regular coping when they ride it. So waxing can be a really big problem, and it can be an added expense, and it can just be a pain in the butt to always have to do that when you want to slide, or when you want to slide on coping, or you go to a park and it's not waxed. You're gonna have to do that every single time if you want to slide, or you're gonna have to do that to rail, and other people are using that, and it may be kind of like impolite or even like upset other skaters if they don't want you to do that, and you'll just have to miss out on it because you can't wax it or they don't want you to. So you're gonna save yourself a whole world of pain if your intention and your goal is to actually slide. I would just go with a different set of sliders. And so that kind of leads to the last part of this video. I want to hear your recommendations in the comment section below. I pinned a comment, so just reply to that or leave your own. And what sliders do you like and why? I'm looking for a new pair of sliders, and I want to hear what you guys think are the best ones. So hit me up in the comments below, let your girl know, and anyone else who's also looking for the same thing, peep that, because they're going to be down there below. If you want to invest in a affordable, secure, and durable pair of grind blocks for your roller skates to skate at the park, these are the babies. You can always later upgrade to a different set that does slide. So when you actually purchase this product, it comes with 2 blocks, and then the 2 screws that go with it, and the little plate thing that goes between your plate and the boot. So that'll be what you get when you order this. And if you would like to get the Sure Grip grind blocks, I'm gonna put the link to a couple places you can pick those up below and you can make your choices there. If you have any more questions or anything like that, just hit me up. You know what to do. I literally do this because I want to give back to my skating community. I want to pass on what things I've liked as a park roller skater, you know, with my setup and what's worked for me, what I like about the things I've tried, and pass it on to you, and then you guys can take that and do what you will with it. Your support means a lot. Whenever you like, whenever you comment, whenever you share my videos, that's helping me in supporting this channel, and it just means so much to me because I'm not making bank making these videos. I'm literally creating and working, investing hours into making these for you. If you watch the entire video, if you watch another video of mine after this, like, you're the MVPs, guys. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you for being here. I hope you stick around. I hope you subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in the next one. See you then.